It's like there's nothing better to do.
Well, I mean, there's one thing that's talking shit about Wayne.
That's the best.
Yeah! Yeah, it's great.
Fuck a Wayne, am I right?
Yeah,
Whoa.
fuck that guy.
We don't want to give him the satisfaction.
Gee, thanks. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Welcome to Time's Up. I'm Wayne.
I'm Mikey.
I'm Mark.
Now I'm Wayne. This episode is brought to you by Cabbages and Kings Games and W.E. Sullivan's Irish Pub and Fair. So, it's a fun day. How was your week?
Beautiful week. Not really. I worked all week. Week was terrible.
I was supposed to work all week, but then it rained a bunch.
So you didn't work at all?
I worked a little bit. We showed up, got about 2 hours, and the boss was just like, nope, screw it.
No.
Go home. We're done here.
Any other fun things?
Any other fun things? Not a ton of fun things for me. Played a lot of Fallout 76. Getting really back into it.
It's a bad game.
It was a bad game. I think they've done a lot to improve it.
They may have, but I won't accept it.
You won't
I
accept
refuse to accept that.
I bought
as a
the fucking
better game.
steelbook for it.
Well, here's your first mistake.
I was so hyped.
Did you get
You
the
Being a
overhyped
fan
yourself.
of Fallout,
You overhyped yourself.
my mistake was the game with the better versions hooked me.
I knew what we were getting into with it the second they announced multiplayer. I was like, ooh, this is not going to be a great game.
I didn't think it was going to be great, but I didn't think it was going to be as bad as it was.
I like the gunplay. There's just such a variety.
Anything of it.
I'm not a big fan of it,
I
as
like
far as like what it is.
Me and Wayne played it for a solid 4 hours and it multiple times said, I've just been waiting for this to get good, and it just doesn't.
I definitely recommend, if you ever manage to get your account back,
Yeah, probably never.
to try it again now that they've got the new DLC out. Now that Wastelanders is out, they've added NPCs, which were a big part of the game.
Needed to happen.
The game just didn't have any personality. It had a great story, and there was a lot of gameplay.
It was World of Warcraft.
But you
It's
had
bad.
to read everything. So nobody wants to play a video game to read a book.
Pretty much is how it set it up.
Nerds, am I right?
Yeah, I'm not one of those.
Gotta love it.
Stupid.
Did you do anything fun, Mikey?
A week?
Yeah.
No, that's basically it.
Work?
I
What'd
bought
you do,
that
Wayne?
gun and
Just
picked
ask-
up a gun and bought our gun.
I just played games and played with my gun.
Yep.
That's pretty much all I did. I didn't like play with it like figures.
Yeah, you're about to make people think you're
Yeah,
irresponsible.
I didn't have any
Bad
bullets in it. I
gun owner.
walked through my house, cleared it, made sure everything was good. Typical things you do as a gun owner.
You
This is
just
American.
you just sweep the room.
It's my American goddamn right.
I can sweep my house if I want to. No,
Yeah,
but
Am I
terrorists
just
are
gonna
in
get,
here.
am I just gonna get super technical when I get my gun?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
You'll understand the feeling. I also
Instantly
put a lot of
will come in.
thought into the fact I think I'm going to build a new commander deck. I don't know which one yet. But I'm going to use the new commander out of Victoria, which is going to be fun.
I'm definitely gonna get excited to play Magic again once shops start opening back up.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. I really need him to open back up. Super excited. But I do think I'm going to build a new Magic deck, and that's going to be fun. Other than that, today, me and Mikey went and shot our new guns. Fantastic time.
That's perfect stuff made.
Essentially, I'll put the images on screen for you that want to see what it was like.
Videos,
Videos,
Images.
slow motion videos,
slow motion action coolness.
lovely pictures of the guns. That way you can see what we got. We'll see what we're rocking, what we're packing.
We're
On
back
the
in
daily.
things.
Well, not gonna lie, ladies, they ain't that big.
Nope.
They ain't that big.
It's a little short, boys.
A little short gun. Mine is a 10.5-inch AR pistol.
I give it an 8.5-inch AK pistol. Not really.
AK
It's
pistol.
a AR chambered in 7.62. Super fun. They were a lot of fun to shoot. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the Glock that we paid for.
Nope, wasn't. Paperwork wasn't through yet,
Yep.
so no Glock 19.
So we were going to shoot that. But we couldn't, so we just shot the little CZ that you changed a few parts out on.
Looks beautiful.
You know what? I just remembered there was something that got done this week.
What's that?
We got our art done.
Yeah, we did.
get the art done.
For those of you that notice, you'll see it. It's not new to you, it's new to us.
We actually made a lot of work on random
Yeah.
podcasting. Art,
We've
music.
been working on it kind of hard. Trying to get everything set up for you guys and see if you enjoy. We've had struggle with some audio issues, which kind of are still going on.
2 episodes down the drain.
We'll figure them out for you.
News to you guys is we've already recorded 2, and we decided they were awful.
And cut them out of our lives.
Your ears didn't need to hear them.
So we're sparing you and us, mainly us, the embarrassment.
Yep.
Yeah. So, essentially, I guess a solid question of the day here. What kind of weapon of choice do you like better, Mark? As far as looks, Mikey, as far as shooting, do you like my AR or do you like Mikey's AR?
I'll let you go first.
Well, I mean, yeah, you asked me.
Essentially, yours is all going to be based on looks because you obviously didn't get to see it.
Yeah, right now it's aesthetic. See, I didn't realize I had the opportunity to go because they didn't tell me I was allowed to go. They're just like, man, Mark can go. Let's not call him.
We figured you just invite yourself like you always do.
I don't do that.
Selfish bastard.
We're talking about the guy who won't even go into your house.
When you're not home.
Yeah, door was unlocked the entire time.
It's good information.
But,
to put on the internet.
Aesthetically,
Come on in. I need friends.
aesthetically, I think I like Mikey's. But as far as a gun I would want to own between the two, probably Wayne's.
That's fair.
It's cheaper,
'Cause
definitely.
Mikey's definitely looks meaner than mine.
Mhm.
It definitely does.
Mikey's looks like a gun that was born to be a gun.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
I'd say mine's pretty sleek.
Yeah, yours is sleek and like tactical.
Yeah, yours is very down to business. I'm meant to do a job.
Mine's like, I
That's what
look
I
cool.
picked apart.
Mikey's just looks fun. Yeah, Mikey's looks fun.
I'll put a side-by-side image up for you guys so that way you can see. And then tell us which one you like better. And as far as like shooting experience-wise, we shot them both. Each of us shot each other's gun. They were fantastic.
Mhm.
However, I prefer mine because it's got less kick, and it's what I wanted it to be. However, there's some other parts I do want to change out, like the charging handle. I do prefer Mikey's charging handle. It's a lot bigger. It's a lot nicer. But I would really prefer mine over his as far as like the recoil and everything like that. Plus, I mean, his took a little bit less time to zero, but mine's a little circular red dot. His is a big square.
Yeah, mine does pretty good. And mine's downside to mine is expensive. It is an AR-AK hybrid, so it's probably not going to last as long. It's not going to be as reliable. It can't eat as much ammo.
True.
I've seen a lot of reviews that it doesn't take steel casings well. It's only a brass, which is really hard to find in 7.62.
A lot of guns struggle with steel casings though, because they're just not as
Exactly, it's just not a good
Not a
round.
Glock.
Glock will eat anything.
a Glock.
Put a rock in there, it'll probably shoot it.
Yeah. You can just about anything you want with a Glock.
Yeah. So, what kind of? Which one do you prefer?
I think I prefer mine, but also it's because I've never owned a 7.62.
And you've owned 5.56 before.
Yeah, and I've owned 5.56 and I've shot it a ton.
Something new, something you can just really get into.
It's like I love this shit.
It is a lot of fun to shoot, especially when you dump the mag on.
Yeah.
it. You feel like
It's a
pushing
fun
you
gun,
back.
that's for sure. Like Mark said, mine's just fun. You shoot it and you're like, it's great. But like Wayne, you're like, I can be accurate. This thing doesn't blow my shoulder back. I'm not falling over when I'm trying to shoot it. I'd say
They
mine.
both are a lot of fun.
They're both great guns, but
Yeah, there's
Fantastic.
definitely a factor you got to take into consideration is how much fun you're going to be able to have with that firearm. Because some firearms, just when you buy them, you're like, "Yep, this gun is for the range. That's all it's ever going to be for."
I mean,
Correct.
my revolver I have, we shot it once. Like we brought it and shot it one time.
I haven't bought ammo for it.
Haven't
since.
bought ammo. That was the only case that I've had like that ammo. It's like I don't use it. I don't want to. It's not fun to shoot. You shoot it and you're like, all right, I've shot a 357 Magnum. With like, and then the sights are super low. You can't aim it. You have to be like 5 yards out to even hit something. It's just not a super fun gun to shoot. It's like bang, bang, bang. I'm super cool. I'm shooting a revolver really fast, and then you're like, anyways.
Now my wrist hurts and I'm bored.
Man,
And
I'm
then
bored.
like
I'm gonna go over here.
on the revolver topic, I mean, we take like my dad's 22 single action revolver,
You're old
and you
school.
have a ton of fun with that
Yeah.
thing
Super
because you
small.
feel like an old school cowboy, and it has
It
no
looks-
recoil whatsoever.
It looks super Western.
It's straight out of a western.
Oh yeah,
It straight up is. Look at it; it's got a little buffalo on the side,
Buffalo.
but the downside is single action, so you gotta pull the hammer back every time.
No.
But when
Mine-
you pull the hammer back, if you want, you can really just hold the trigger down and then slap the hammer and fan it.
Do
Some of
yeah.
those guys,
Yeah.
though, with those single actions, they hold those speed shooting records. You know, they
Mhm.
trick
That's
shoot,
true.
and they just single action. They'll go from the hip, they'll pull it out, and then they'll prime it, fire, and then as they fire, they've already got their hand going back for a second shot. You'll never even know they fired a second one. They're so fast. Some of those guys
Yeah,
are
I mean,
good
good
at it.
they're a lot of fun to shoot. It's sights on.
Yeah, they're also recessed
Yeah.
sights.
Might as well just be a slick tube.
It's super hard to
Basically.
shoot anything with those, especially at like a decent distance. If Something's like 5 yards out. No problem.
Yeah.
Something maybe like 25 yards. Struggle a little bit.
You know, a little dangerous.
It's a little hard to see.
But
it's
good
not
thing
super
is it's 22, so you're
Yeah, it's
not
22.
paying an arm and a leg. To
Correct.
shoot
It's like 8-10 cents around something like
where
that.
$357 isn't expensive, but it's definitely not 22 cheap.
No, it's not. It's
Or
not.
even
Plus, like, you just have more fun with a 22
Mhm.
single action versus
you can
like
plink.
I think you just have more fun with the 22 in general, just because it's a very shooter friendly gun.
Yeah,
Any
because there's
22 you
absolutely like no
Any
recoil
22
to it.
you have, it's not as loud.
Anyone
It doesn't
can
kick
shoot
as
it.
hard. It's just something that anybody can hop onto, and with somebody there to watch them, make sure they're doing everything right and safe, can have an enjoyable time.
Yeah.
That's unlike our shotguns. Our shotguns are not
Yeah.
that way. Like the
First
shotgun
shooter.
that I have of is the it's a break action shotgun.
Another cowboy weapon.
It's another cowboy weapon.
Your shotgun is literally pipe on some wood.
Basically.
We discussed that earlier today while we were shooting it. We were talking about it, and when you shoot it, it sounds like you're straight up just shooting out of a tube.
Yeah, it goes tunk, dink.
It's fantastic to shoot at clay pigeons and stuff. It's a lot of fun. Also, on the topic of the clay pigeon, we were throwing clay pigeons today, and we had ended up picking the one that throws straight, and it also, for some reason, has an excessively long pull string.
The thing's like 12 foot long.
And I was picking it up, didn't realize I had it wrapped around my leg. So when as Lockwood was trying to put the pigeon onto it, I ended up stepping back and pulled it and threw it right off.
I looked over, the clay pigeon tumbled over at me and flew into the field, and Lockwood said, "Well then." While his hand almost got taken off by a...
All because
Pigeon
I didn't
thrower.
realize it was wrapped around my leg, and I stepped back. And then there was one point where I didn't even have the shotgun reloaded or pumped back or anything. And Lockwood put the pigeon on it and immediately yanked it.
Just pulled it.
I just turned around, looked at him, I was like, "What the fuck was that?"
Are you ready? No, good.
Good there.
That's basically how it went.
Why you shoot it multiple times to where
I thought you said you were ready. I said no.
pigeon got thrown, and I had Wayne shotgun, which is a hammer driven, so you have to pull the hammer back every time. It's a single action. I'd not pull the hammer back and just be like, "Pull!" It'd go, and I'd be like,
Nothing happens.
Click.
Yeah.
Dang.
Doesn't
Not a
even
thing.
click.
Nope.
You just
Just
pull the hammer back. It straight does
just-
nothing.
You just pull and
You
pull.
just feel
pulling
the
some
trigger.
metal.
You're like, "What the heck?"
You're like, why didn't it go?
And then you looked over. I was like, "Did you not pull the hammer back?" As he pulled the hammer back, he's like, "No, I did."
I said, no.
I promise it's your gun, not
It's-
me.
Normally we say, "Ha, I got you guys."
Tricked you. Your gun's stupid,
Now-
not me. I'm
now
not
you
dumb.
wasted a pigeon, dummy. Anyway, pull.
You're trying to get Lockwood comfortable with shooting guns and everything like that. He's pretty comfortable with it.
Yeah, he'll grab my CZ and walk over and do his own thing.
He'll just
Now,
John Wick up the range.
he knows. I've watched him do it from afar. He knows exactly. Racks it, starts taking shots, watches where he's hitting.
Just making sure. The times where he doesn't see, he definitely asks, though. Definitely make sure. You always want to make sure someone knows.
Yep.
That way you can kind of see. And then, well, hopefully, I mean, we got the casings. So hopefully Mom can make something cool with those like she did that lovely bottle.
Yeah, it's a neat bottle. It's a little noisy, so we don't have it in here because we don't want you guys' ears to
It is a
constantly be
little noisy
ringing.
right now.
It likes to make a lot
It
of
likes to
sound.
Clinking
clink. Any type of movement in the room will clink the bottle.
Metal on glass.
When we get back to the regular mic setup, it'll probably be back on the table, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So, we cleaned the guns today in front of you, Mark.
Yeah, I was here for all hour and a half, 2 hours of it.
Yeah.
Every gun we shot, we cleaned. How did that process seem to you?
It seemed
As
normal.
far as like a
Yeah,
prospective gun owner.
I'm not too unfamiliar with the process because I've handled firearms before. My parents have firearms. I've gone to camps up in Wisconsin when I was younger where they had ranges where you were allowed to go shoot. But if you shot, not only did you have to have obviously somebody with you to supervise you because we didn't have license. We were 13, 14.
Yeah.
But you also had to do everything with the gun. You had to use the gun safety, taking it all the way to the range, which was off the property. You had to have gun safety coming back. You had to take care of the rounds and store them properly. You had to clean the guns when you were done because you were the one who used it.
Correct.
So I'm not completely unfamiliar with the process. But the guns we used were just bolt action, single round 22s.
It wasn't as complicated as
Yep,
like
they were
Mikey's
just
CZ
rifles.
pistol.
Yep, all we did is we took the bar, we just used the rod, cleaned the barrel,
Yeah,
and then we
cleaned
cleaned
the
out
barrel.
around the trigger. But we really couldn't take them apart
Yeah.
because they were all wood stock.
Yeah, those are.
Those are a pain in the ass to take
Pain
apart.
to take apart.
Because we took apart my Winchester 22. There's a lot of curse words being thrown around in
That
the
thing was
basement.
not fun.
Especially trying to just put back the recoil spring because
Oh
it's
my, that
obnoxious.
stupid recoil thing.
And
We
then
took apart mine.
no
It
problems.
took us like 15 minutes. recoil spring was just like, you put it in there. And the recoil spring's in there.
Take apart mine. We need a YouTube video on how to take it apart. Put it
You need
back
to
together.
use two screwdrivers and walk your spring in, and it just wants to come back out of there.
Another thing I'm not too worried about with cleaning is it's very unlikely I'm going to run anything other than a pistol. So you guys obviously had a lot of guns to go through today. You didn't just have...
because we went through the pump action shotgun, which is Mikey's, the break action shotgun, which is mine, the single action revolver, which is my dad's, and I took that with me to shoot. The CZ, which Lockwood shot the most of, shot it a couple times. The new compensator on it makes it a lot easier to shoot.
It's so good looking.
It's phenomenal. Makes it look a lot meaner. Super nice. He was able to put the flashlight back on it so it looks like a real
It
gun
doesn't
again.
look dumb.
The strobe light looks going
Yeah.
to a rave.
And then he shot his AR. I shot my AR. He shot his other AR. So he shot his KSG also, which is the second AR. I think that's everything we took. Pretty sure,
Yep.
because I think we took, 9 guns? That's not 9.
Well, I took my...
I could do math, I promise. I
It's
graduated.
7 guns that we shot.
7.
I brought my 22.
You did bring the
that we
22
didn't
because
shoot.
you didn't shoot it. You also forgot that
I
you
brought
were supposed
this
to
if
do
you want to count my Glock. But
Didn't shoot it.
we don't shoot that.
We hardly ever shoot that.
So.
That's Mikey's self-defense weapon.
9 guns.
So yeah,
You're right.
we
If
did
you're
about 9
including-
guns.
Yeah, if you include my Glock.
I left my 22 rifle at home because I'm tired of dealing with it.
Yeah, so I doubt I'm going to be in that situation because I'm probably just going to get a pistol.
Well, realistically, if you go shooting with us, we take a lot of guns.
We'll provide the guns. You provide your one gun.
Yeah, I'll bring my
And
one.
you can shoot all of the guns.
Typically, the way we do it, we just split the ammo costs for pretty much what we're going to shoot, and then we go shoot.
Part of enjoying a gun anyways is letting your friends shoot your gun and seeing how they feel about it.
And then getting to use your other friend's cooler guns because you only own one.
Yes. You bring your pistol,
That's
you're
how
like,
it'll be
look
for
at
you,
my
yeah.
gun.
But the thing is, like, I'm telling you, as soon as you start doing it, it's going to start rolling like you did with Magic. Like,
I don't know
it's
if
weird
I've-
to compare Magic the Gathering to gun ownership, but it kind of is because I didn't really care to own a gun.
I think it's just the collection.
And then like we started like
Like things.
correct as we started shooting more, I was like, damn, I really want other fucking guns. So
like,
I
it
bought
was so
that.
fun
I
shooting.
bought the AR pistol.
Yeah.
I'm in love with the thing, and I've only shot 3 mags out
Because
of it.
out of my guns, the ones that you shot, you loved the AR, my AR the most.
Correct, and it's a time because you offered it to for me to buy it, and I was
Yep.
thinking about it, and then I passed on it. And then after I shot it, I was like, damn, I should have bought the gun.
It's so fun.
Because I was like, this is like so much fun. After we sorted out the jamming issue,
Which I would back to which gun I liked more. I like my AR right now more than Wayne's AR, but if Wayne throws a compensator on his AR wins 100%. Because right now his tiny 10.5-inch barrel
it's barrel. Definitely barrel.
kicks way more
barrel.
than my 16-inch barrel on my full size, my mid-size.
Because of the
I do have to say, when I came up the stairs, we have a camera that we're here testing out. We're taking some pictures, seeing how we like the lighting, and I forgot the battery. So I had to run and grab the battery, and I came back, and they had all the guns upstairs. They were getting ready to clean them. And Wayne turns to me and says, "Does this look weird?" And he holds up this tiny little 16-inch rifle. It's a pistol.
It's a pistol.
Legally.
Technically, it's a
pistol.
pistol. It's got a brace.
And it just looks ridiculous. It looks like a baby gun on a man.
Wait, well, the ridiculous part is I had a 40-round magazine.
40-round magazine,
which
because
is
we made the trade.
Normally 30 rounds, but I gave Wayne a 40-round PMag for a 30-round because I want a black 30-round.
It was definitely a very Chris Farley fat guy in a little coat situation.
It was just the best kind of situation you can be in.
Mm-hmm.
Other situations you could be in that are amazing. It's like when eventually we get Mike into playing Magic. And like I think the easiest way to do that is probably take him away as soon as one of our favorite game shops opens. And we get him there. What's that game shop, Mark?
Mikey, do you know what that game shop is?
Is that?
That's right, it's
Cabbages
Cabbages and
and
Kings.
Kings.
It's Cabbages. Yep, our friends
Best
up at
game shop
Cabbages
in
and
town.
Kings. Friends up at Cabbages and Kings, Dan and Stephanie Crawford, fantastic people with a fantastic business. Cabbages and Kings is one of our supporters, not a sponsor. They don't pay us to say these nice things, but we say these nice things because we truly believe them and we like them. They're just good people.
Favorite
They're
people.
a
Some
great
of our
place.
favorites.
Some of our favorites, not our favorite favorites. I'm just kidding, Dan. We love you.
Dan, you know you're the favorite.
But they're a great place if you want to play card games, board games. You name the type of game that you want, not a video game. The type
Obviously
of game that you
not
want
a
in
video
person.
We're talking tabletop games.
Tabletop
Big
games.
youngins.
D&D, Magic the Gathering, you name it, and they have something for you. Whether you're into a fast-paced game, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, you pick your time frame, you pick how many people you want to play, you give them a call, and they'll be able to help you find the game that's right for you. They've got curbside pickup right now, and they're open Tuesday through Saturday every week. You can get a hold of them by calling them. You can find that number on their Facebook. You can message them on Facebook, or you can go to their website, cabbagesandkings.games, and they'll be able to help you out. Just give them a call and make sure you support our local business guys. They're fantastic people.
It's a good time to support local business throughout this whole pandemic situation. They kind of need more help than like big box stores because they got money no matter what. Small businesses do not.
Yeah, it's definitely a hard time for small businesses.
And I think on that, I think we should transition into some little bit of game questions.
A little bit of game questions.
Game
Back and forth.
questions.
Who's and what's, where's and when's.
What I'm thinking though is like, I don't have 100% solid reasons why Mikey doesn't want to play Magic the Gathering.
Why don't you?
Money.
Is it all money driven?
That's literally the only reason.
No, it's not a money thing that you don't have it. It's you don't want to spend it.
I don't want to. I'm a man that dives into things when I want something.
And you don't want to get over-invested.
Yes. Guns being one of the examples. Computers
I
being
can kind of attest to that issue.
My second example, computers. Whenever I get things and I start getting into it, I start researching it. And then I find out more things I want. And I can't just not buy them.
So what I'm hearing is this is a game that we should take care of and that you just show up and play.
Yeah, you give me a deck, teach me how to play, I'll do it.
I think that should be pretty
As
simple.
long as I'm basically I'm just swimming in your guys' pool.
Yeah, now we have proof that we're going to do that.
Why buy my own pool when I could swim in your guys' pool?
And I think
That's totally true.
I think the reason it might backfire on you is I have, let's count them up, 5, 6, 7 decks ready to go at any given time.
I'll take it.
And Wayne's got 8 or 9.
No.
Not right
I
now?
think I've only got 4 right now.
Only 4 right
that
now?
took a lot of them apart.
Wayne typically has more than I do ready to go at any given time. We have a lot of variety for you to get into and find your play style.
I took apart a lot of them for the aspect of the fact that I'm getting some alters done. For those of you that don't know, alters are like having an artist paint on top of your card. Essentially, you alter the card art, make it how you want to make it.
Personalized.
So I've been having cards be done that way. And so I want to pay more attention to the decks that I actually play like that, as we're having decks that I have sit off to the side. Now, one deck I had together for the longest time, and I refused to take it apart solely because Mark had a super expensive card in my deck.
I did.
And I refused to let him have it back. So I kept it together. Also, Mark really hated this deck.
I was not a fan.
A lot of you can probably guess the deck. It's pretty hate heavy. It's a tribal deck. If you know what that is. A tribal deck means all the creature types are the same. And that is a sliver deck.
Bane.
Now, a
Bane
sliver
of my
deck,
existence.
they all buff each other, and they all will kick your ass. That's how they go. Now, the expensive card, you probably haven't questioned. I'm sure you can guess which expensive card that was, and it was a Sliver Queen. Had that in there for about, 4 years?
Well, here's the crazy
4
thing.
years before I let him have it back.
Here's the crazy thing with that Sliver Queen. The way I got it was totally on accident. And this is one of those, it's not quite like I found a Black Lotus magic story, but I went to a pawn shop and they had, and it was already opened, but it was a Portals starter box. And it was just a bunch of basic stuff that was supposed to come in Portals. And I was like, hey, that's pretty neat. I like the box, I like the art, I like the memory and the nostalgia associated with it. So I asked them if I could look at it. And they said, sure. And they opened it up. They brought the box over to me, and I opened the box and immediately saw a pack fresh mint Sliver Queen, which at the time was $70 easily. And the box was labeled for $30. And I instantly closed the box and said, I'll take it.
I said, well then.
Pulled one of those things.
Pulled a sneaky on him.
Didn't tell him.
It was on them. When you run a business like
No.
that,
It's true.
it's on you to research your
Buffalo
products.
Wild Wings.
Prime
Free
example.
wings.
Free wings one day. Me and Mikey bought 150 wings for $8 through the lovely Grubhub app. All because they messed up a price.
Fuck up the price, so.
Me and Mikey, we both work at Best Buy. Temporary furloughed, as I am.
Says
Mike is
the
working.
jealous man.
Hey, furlough, I still technically have a job.
According-
For now, until they decide they're just going to let me go.
Technicalities.
Until they decide to let me go. I doubt they're going to do that because I'm a pretty liked person and I actually do my job.
This is guaranteed.
Mikey, I don't know if you just saw that, but I'm pretty sure his ego's growing.
It is. My head's getting
Growing.
huge over here.
As you can get any bigger.
But
The size of that head.
Almost everybody we worked with that day found out and bought wings.
There was easily 800 wings that came to Best Buy that
Very
day.
easy. And it's like, because our delivery driver, he showed up with our food, and then he also showed up with somebody else's food at the same time. As I went to grab ours, I went and told the other person, hey, your food's here too, because he asked if she was there.
Also, right before, Wayne went up there like 15 minutes earlier because he thought that his food was there, but no, it was someone else's Buffalo Wild Wings that was there. And then our manager ordered food for later that day to be delivered to his house.
Correct. We said it like there was a lot of wings happening.
Yeah, wings were going everywhere.
They fixed that promotion quickly.
I think they realized as soon as why are all these wings going to this Best Buy place?
Well, I'm pretty sure just about any business, regardless of the size, would immediately notice something was up when they had 800 orders of wings coming
Yes,
coming in.
I'm assuming it was a mistake. I'm pretty sure it was. Could have been set up for something to
this was during the quarantine, so yeah.
Somebody definitely misunderstood. Either somebody definitely misunderstood how to set it up at their location, or decided they didn't want their job anymore.
And they were the Robin Hood of the restaurant industry.
The Robin.
I tell you
Buffalo
what,
Robin.
those wings got me through a few days.
They got me through one day.
Yeah. So these assholes call me 4 hours after it's been fixed and say, "Mark,
hey, I didn't.
You should get some wings." I'm like, what are you talking about? Wings are free right now on Grubhub. No, they weren't.
It was 4 hours.
It was fixed long ago.
Yeah.
Way before I was.
We didn't think about it. I mean, we did think about it at the time. Because Mikey did say, hey, you should text Mark and let him know about this just in case he wants wings.
You guys heard it here first. I'm an afterthought.
Hey.
Totally slipped my mind because I had some work to do.
Before we even got our wings, I said, text Mark and let him know about those wings.
So it's on you.
It is my fault. I forgot.
However, later, I waited until we were in Discord 5 hours later to say, Mark, you should go get some wings. After he was already sad about not being able to get free wings.
Yeah, I'd already found out, and then I was reminded about mine.
I ripped that Band-Aid off.
Yeah. It was worth it, though. So, I do like the idea of the fact that we can get you to play some Magic. Also, on this lovely channel, we're going to do some... try to do a weekly, once a week board game.
Is weekly once a week? Is that how that works?
It's just the way I said it, Mark. No reason to come at me all hot and heavy like a space alien.
I'm just going to have to open up space in my schedule.
So I'm
find
thinking...
the room and
maybe like once a week.
So we're probably going to pick out a game, or you guys can suggest a game, and we'll try to get a hold of somewhere to play it. I'm sure we can find a place to play it, and I'm sure we can find a lovely copy of it at the good old Cabbage and King's Games. Dan's got almost everything we need.
He'll hook us up,
and we'll probably play it, put it up here, see if you guys like it.
We'll give you our first thoughts on the game.
How much fun it is, and before you suggest anything, we are not playing Monopoly.
Win a win, anyway.
Yeah, keep the Walmart games at Walmart.
We've decided.
Shots fired.
We've decided that Monopoly is a game that we should not play. I've proven the fact it's too easy to win.
He's proven it to one of the people here, and I'm just going to take it for his word.
This is true, and I didn't enjoy it that much. But I didn't go down without a fight.
It wasn't great.
All my properties were mortgaged. My house is sold.
I mean, if you didn't lose, you basically went out without a fight.
He tried. Well, the real thing is, he irritated he irritated the legendary Lockwood. Irritated the legendary Lockwood, and Lockwood was not about
Lockwood was against me that game.
He was 100% against
He did everything in his power to make Wayne a god in Monopoly, just to make my life miserable. And I did everything to make that game last as long as it could.
All you do, you just plant the seed in their head, and they deify you.
He tricked Lockwood into making him think he was a good guy.
Do you just pull
That's
the Secret
right,
Hitler strategy? You just go full chaos immediately?
Yeah. Buy everything. Trade with anyone that's willing to trade. Make a friend out of them. And then
I'll give you $1 for that $200 property.
That's literally what happened.
Deal.
That is pretty close to it.
Lockwood wanted to just give Wayne properties, but Wayne said, "No, we have to trade for something." And he was like, "Give me $1." And they did that shit. And right in front of me, across the table.
Mikey, that sounds like sabotage.
It was. Lockwood was out to get him.
You know what it sounded like?
You make an enemy of the Lockwood.
Betrayal is what it felt like.
Betrayal.
Betrayed his own dad.
That's true. My own son.
Here's the thing. You don't understand this. Lockwood is Mikey's son.
Yeah. I really don't. I forgot. Oh, I used to... Because he would say... What did he say?
Words, I'm assuming.
He would say stuff like,
That's pretty good.
he would just say some father-son shit, and I'd say, thanks, Dad. For some reason, that got flipped, and I was his dad suddenly. So I would say the weird, like, you're doing good.
So
Lockwood's got three dads. He's got his work dad.
His real dad.
His real
He's
dad.
got his real dad. He's got his other work dad.
Mm-hmm.
He's got two work dads. We got a good old Michael Cleaton.
So
Yeah.
Lockwood's the family.
The Nick Trees.
He's the family bond.
Pretty much.
Basically.
Pretty much. Just below everybody.
He's just,
It's just real submissive about
he's like, yeah, you can be my dad.
it.
Just lets it in his life. You could be my dad, I guess.
No, but in the market for one. I think I'll take you.
I'm not choking my water.
Like it's a chokeable phrase. Probably should never be said.
Hey
Again.
kid, you want some candy? You can be my dad. Lockwood, no.
No,
You can't
Lockwood.
keep saying that to people.
Like, come on.
Somebody's gonna take it serious.
And just like that, he was gone.
Never saw him again. We got him on milk containers everywhere.
So yeah, before we etch-a-sketch our way away from that, good old board games, we'll start playing some tabletop games for you. And if you guys really want to see some in-depth like D&D or role-playing game like that, we can also do that.
We got a hot Tales from the Loop game that's just been waiting to be played, and we haven't had a good
It's been
opportunity.
burning a hole in the bag for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's been hard to keep a group together, to be honest.
It's rough.
Reliable people are apparently hard to come by.
I'm not one of them.
No, you're not.
No, Mark's free every time he has no life.
Exactly. He does nothing. He mows grass.
It wasn't even a
And that's
backhanded
it.
compliment. It was just an insult. It was just a slap in the face.
That's how
Correct.
it is.
Anyways, continue.
That's how we do.
I guess I can't fish in this room anymore.
Yeah, so like if you want to see some type of like detailed role play game, just let us know.
Cast
we'll do
the
our
line
best.
and cut the pole.
We'll do our best to set it up and make it happen.
Just, it's all gone.
Oh, I was supposed to hold on to that.
I'm supposed to- okay.
Just threw it in the
Also,
lake.
essentially, I'm thinking about also making a Discord for the people that listen to the podcast that also would like to participate that way.
Another way to engage.
Sure. To where you guys can talk to each other. If you want, you guys can set up like Magic games online since the whole quarantine thing's still kind of going on.
Oh, yeah.
If you really want, I know there's a few people on my Facebook page that all want to play Magic with each other online. You guys don't need me to do that.
I feel like you're talking to someone specifically.
I will give you guys the page to find each other. Do my best as long as you join the page. And you guys are nice to each other. No unfriendly people, please. I cannot stress that enough. I do not want unfriendly people on our Discord. But when we get that set up, then you guys can come in, join, talk. We'll probably essentially start setting that up and using that most of the time to that way you guys can send us questions through there or through the comments because we'll read every comment. I promise that.
And then we'll have a couple social media pages set up. We're setting up a Facebook page right now.
Yeah, we do have a Twitter.
I promise that for now.
The Discord thing?
I'm sure it'll get to a part if it ever gets to
For
a
now.
point where.
And until it becomes excessively hard to get to reading your comments. For now, I'm not a busy guy. I'll probably read most of the comments, if not all the
This
comments.
man's furlouged.
Furloughed.
Ain't got
For
a job.
temporary for life.
Or full load.
It's full load.
That's how it
I
is.
was like, what does that mean?
Essentially, we'll set that up. You guys will be
Big
able
plain
to
Mark.
find a spot to come together, hopefully as a group, as a family, and enjoy each other.
With it.
That sounds kind of weird, but
Yep.
it's what I'm offering.
Keep going though.
He's just
I
really
can,
on a search for a mom.
I need friends.
Here's the actual reason I already started this conversation.
I'm just so alone.
I find a lot of space in my day where I'm just sitting there watching YouTube, wishing for better things to happen.
His newly acquired living room.
Yes,
Playing
finally
the belly
set up.
drums.
It was a war between me and my dogs to get my house back in shape. I'm finally turning the tide and winning this war.
It's an ongoing battle.
It's still battle, but I'm winning finally. But tell you what, like after like the usually the battle days I have with these dogs, it makes me awfully hungry. However, I'm not close enough to get one of my favorite spots to eat.
What would be that favorite spot?
That my favorite spot. I wish I could go eat. However, it's still the whole quarantine thing.
Do
I
not
can't
tell
now
me
get
that
there.
it's
It is
W.E. Sullivan's Irish Pub and Fair.
I love the unison that just happened there.
We're
That's the
conjoined at the bean.
Well, the best part about
Continue.
W.E. Sullivan's Irish Pub and Fair
All right.
is that you can still get it.
You can still get it.
You
I,
can eat
however, cannot because I live too far away.
But for everybody who lives in the greater Peoria area,
It's also
Peoria,
because he
Peoria
doesn't have a
Heights,
job.
East Peoria,
Hey.
you can,
Furloughed.
You can order it from their website, or you can give them a call, or you can also go to Order to Eat or Grubhub. Use the applications. And you can get a hold of them and order some food, and it can either be delivered to you, or you can go pick it up curbside in Peoria Heights. They have a fantastic menu that you can get a hold of on their website. It's wesullivans.com. Entire menu up there. You can also check out their entire menu on their Facebook, and their Facebook has the number that you can call to get a hold of them and order directly and go pick it up from them. One of my favorite parts of Sullivan's
is our talkie boy.
Is that every week they have a new special. It's always something new, and they always announce it on Tuesday when they open up. They open Tuesday through Saturday, just like Dan does. So it's a fantastic place with fantastic customer service. Their staff is awesome. Their cooks are awesome. Their owners are awesome. You should definitely check them out, support them. They're staying open for us, so we should go up there and make sure that they have a reason to stay open.
Absolutely. If you're in the Peoria area and you have not had Sullivan's, order it right now.
You're doing something wrong.
You have been missing out.
You're robbing yourself of some amazing fries and corned beef, which I did not know until there was an all-year food. They make such amazing corned beef that it's good at any time. It's fantastic. People who don't even like corned beef like their corned beef. Like Wayne.
In fact, I hate corned beef. It's really hard for me to get down on some corned beef. But at Sullivan's, man, I can get down on some corned beef. I'm about it.
Awesome. They don't use that, gross afterthought fatty corned beef. They use nice.
Fatty.
They use good quality meat. It's fantastic. It's delicious.
The venison chili.
Yeah, their pretzel bowls are
Ooh,
amazing.
the pretzel bowl.
Pretzel bowl, fantastic. So, favorite item on the menu, go.
Venison chili.
Venison chili for me.
It's absolutely their pretzel bowl. Their Gouda pretzel bowl.
Ooh.
I fold that thing
Oh,
like a
we're
taco.
all pretzel boys here.
Here's the thing.
All pretzel balls.
No normal bowl in the venison
The
chili.
last time I took somebody with me who wasn't used to eating at Sullivan's, I can't remember if it was our buddy Mason or Cherokee, but I took one of them with me, and I got a pretzel bowl, and I started eating it. I picked that thing up and folded it like a taco, and they were just thrown aback. They were like, "What in the hell are you doing?" I was like, "I'm enjoying my food, God damn it.
Don't you judge me.
Don't get in the way of this."
It's a pretzel bowl.
Let me have
Therefore, you
this.
eat double.
I know I invited you out to dinner, but right now this is between me and
This
the food.
is my moment, okay?
If you need to find another table, you can wait.
I still want to look weird alone.
This is what decides if I go to Valhalla or not, okay?
I'm on a mission.
This bread bowl.
Everyone knows the Vikings decided that
It's
by
fantastic.
principles.
Also, we mentioned that they have a different special each week. So far, my favorite special they've had is the breakfast sandwich.
Oh, their breakfast burger is amazing.
So good.
So they have a nice thick patty that they sandwich in between two waffles and cover in sausage gravy.
Smothered in gravy.
There's a fried egg on it. It's so good. Some hash browns.
That sounds delicious.
Have you had any of the specials there?
Nope.
I don't think we've ever
I've
been with
only
you.
had
Take a
venison
special.
chili
Usually I get the special
because I don't want to give it up.
Yeah, we try to get the special every time we go.
I should probably add some variety in there.
Because
well-
not every time, if we go there because we used to try to go there like once a week because we would go play Magic once a week over at Cabbages and Kings before Mark moved away and fucking left me all alone.
Listen, it's not my fault you don't have friends.
Like an asshole and a not friend.
I thought you were going to say a Nazi.
It was realistically.
I wouldn't go that far with it.
I ran into a situation where I worked every time I would play Magic after Mark moved away, so I couldn't really go play. I did my best to try to change it, but everybody wanted me to work on a fucking Wednesday.
This is true.
I don't understand why. First, it's one reason I finally get it off. Then, like, the next 3 weeks, it's like, hey, I need you to work Wednesday again. It's like, I hate working Wednesdays. It's my magic day.
But not no more.
Used to be, me and Mark would meet up at, like, 12 o'clock. We'd go grab something, eat. Usually Qdoba.
We had a lot of Qdoba.
Usually Qdoba.
I'm not packing this weight for nothing.
And then we'd go play Magic. Get done with Magic. Go eat at Sullivan's again. It's just how we did it. It's like the very first time we went to Sullivan's, Dan recommended it to us. And I was like super skeptical because the way he described it, he's like, "Oh, they have fantastic soups. You got to try soups."
Yeah, he was all about their soup. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
We get.
I like a good soup, but you could describe any other menu.
Yeah, I thought Dan was our friend until he recommended soup.
We got there. I looked at the soup. None of them really seemed appetizing me. I'm not a soup guy typically.
The tomato basil, by the way, fantastic.
The soup is actually super good.
Listen to this soup guy.
Not usually into the soup, but once you try the soup, you realize it's actually good soup.
The main thing that made me realize that Dan wasn't, screwing around on the soup is that my brother is a super picky eater, but he tried it. It blew my mind that he tried something different. He loved it.
Is chili a soup?
I would classify it.
I'd say
more of a stew.
chili's more of a stew.
It's more of a stew.
I see that.
Also, you psychos that think you eat stew with a fork, you need to stop. You eat stew and soup with a spoon.
You've done enough.
We've had enough of this. You're poisoning society with your fork in your stew when it should be a spoon.
I think we found a soft spot on Wayne.
I'm sick of seeing it.
A little tender.
It's like all I saw in a thread one day was, do you eat soup or stew with a fork or a spoon?
I don't even think that needs to be a question.
It shouldn't be. It's a fucking spoon.
You just drink it out of the bowl. With a spoon, yeah, a spoon is what I said.
Of course.
You use silverware. Duh.
And then like
You want to win with it.
as soon as you get
Almost
to,
got caught.
you move up to the stage of not being soup and it's like ramen. You're eating ramen now. Yeah, if you don't know how to use chopsticks, use a fork.
Chopstick and
If you know how to use chopsticks, you better be using chopsticks the entire time.
So can I use chopsticks and tomato soup with grilled cheese, or is that still
Get the
wrong?
fuck out
Is
of
that
here.
cultural appropriation?
You're going a little far there, buddy. Rein it back
Now
in.
I'll call you a Nazi.
I went up to about an 11.
But essentially, like my first experience with Sullivan's. Back to the real topic at hand.
All right. Here.
I got mac and cheese. Their mac and cheese, let me tell you, it's something special. It's got so much cheese. It's super creamy. I believe they're like shells.
Mhm.
They're not regular macaroni. They're macaroni shells. So they're super good. And it's also a beer cheese. As far
God.
as what kind of
Delicious.
beer cheese is actually made of,
It's so amazing.
it is the thickest, creamiest beer cheese I've ever had. And I would get that on almost anything if they would allow me to get it on almost anything.
They did one time.
I was allowed to do it once.
One time,
One time.
I spent $17 on a burger for this guy because he decided he didn't want any toppings except cheese.
I wanted nothing but cheese,
That's
and I
a
wanted
winning burger.
every cheese on the menu that they could possibly give me.
So let me give a little context for this. At this point, we had become friends with Lauren, who is one of the owners. Her and her husband own Sullivan's. And we'd gotten to know her a little bit because we've been in there a lot with Dan. And Dan was friends with her, so we met her through Dan. And Wayne started consistently getting a burger with like 4 cheeses on
It's
it.
how I wanted to leave my mark. It had to be multiple cheeses, and then they would know.
She was
it was
getting
me.
frustrated with him constantly, and I quote, ruining her burger by putting the cheeses on it. And so one day he said, I want every cheese I can get. And she said, you know what? Fuck you. You're getting every cheese. She's like, I'm giving you every cheese.
Legitimately gave me every cheese.
And she did. Every single cheese they had to offer was on that burger. Cheese curds, blue cheese, beer cheese, queso, American Swiss, Gouda, you name it, it was on
I
that
still
burger.
got a picture of it, so I will show you guys a picture of what the burger looked like. when
You
it
couldn't
came
see the
out.
meat. It was literally a top bun and cheese. You couldn't
Cheese.
see anything.
Oh, it looks so good.
It does. It was
It
fantastic.
was all hidden.
Until I bit into the blue cheese. I'm not a blue cheese guy. It's not me. And then I was loving it, bit into it. As soon as I got the blue cheese, I was like, I'm not going to do this again.
Yeah. I think
He
Lauren
realized his
thought
mistake.
she was going to get the last laugh. She was like, he's not ready for this. Well, Wayne got the last laugh because I paid for it.
I did pay for it. Also, it was at a birthday party.
That
To
we didn't even
Someone,
know the guy.
we didn't even know the guy prior to being there.
That was our first time ever meeting him or his mom. I still have her on Facebook. She liked us. She added us on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah,
She's a nice lady.
She used to refer to Mark as the end of the table guy.
I was into the table
In the
guy.
table guy.
And then the other 2 drunk old ladies there referred to Wayne as Mark's friend because they remembered my name.
Correct. It was a good time. It was the first time we ever went to like a weird birthday party that had a super weird theme.
And then they really started hitting on Wayne. It was awesome.
It was an awkward
It
situation.
was hilarious.
I wasn't used to that. I was
They
not a part of that level.
They were all about his tattoos. They were like rubbing up on his arm, like, "Oh man, your tattoos."
It was weird. Dan supported it.
And I just think
Of course
they
they
have a
did.
good laugh.
Dan was all about it. He was like, yeah.
He was
Yeah.
having a good laugh.
He was, Dan likes to have fun at our expense. That's how it is sometimes.
We make him
Love
sound
the
like
guy.
a villain.
He's the, he's the hero in his film. He's the villain in mine in this case. It's a situation that we're heading into. But while we were there, it was one of these parties where, like, as we were told about it, a friend of ours told us that it was a
Canned food drive.
canned food drive situation where we had to bring some type of canned food to this guy's 21st birthday.
But I don't want you to misunderstand. It wasn't a canned food drive that he wanted for his birthday for the homeless. It was for him.
Yeah,
The
it was
food
for the
him.
birthday guy. So we
You
gave
wanted random new canned food.
He didn't want that. His mom decided it would be funny, and it was.
It was hilarious. Everybody that was there brought him some type of canned food.
I think the
Were
part.
they weird canned food?
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. I think the part that was
one was like a
funniest for me-
mustard tuna or
Yeah,
something.
somebody brought a
like
mustard tuna. Somebody brought like cans of like pickled flavored herrings.
Yeah.
My favorite part was not only was he getting like non-perishables and canned foods, but also these two random dudes that no one had ever met showed up, which was Wayne and I.
Knew nobody there except for our friend Max.
You guys bring
was there.
canned foods?
I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Great.
I brought
Yeah,
green beans
And
corn and cream of mushroom soup. But I took the labels off of them, so he had no idea what they were. I peeled the labels off of
yeah,
everything.
they were also in a brown bag.
Yep, just a
When we showed
random
up.
brown bag.
So we just showed up, set the brown bag down. We sat down. We're like, "What's up?" And they're like,
Who are you?
"Who are these guys?" And then Max is like, "Oh, they're with me. It's fine. They're with me. I thought this would be funny to bring these guys in, and they're with me."
And the best part is, Max said they're with me. I thought it'd be fine. A couple of them were questionable. Trevor, the kid whose birthday it was I don't even think he knew we were there. His mom, on the other hand, Amy, was like, "Yup, I'm about this."
Exactly.
She thought it was great.
She's a hilarious person. Good time to hang out with.
Right.
Afterwards, we went to do karaoke
Yeah, we went up to
because
Oliver's
their whole idea was to go to Oliver's do karaoke afterwards. That was a super fun time.
until Wayne started getting picked up by women. Older women. We've called him the Husky Honey Hunter.
Ooh.
Triple H in the house. No
It was-
relation to wrestling.
This is the whole.
Except for his love for
No,
it.
no, no. I do love wrestling. Those of you that don't know,
Well,
That's
they wanted to wrestle you in the
big
bathroom.
wrestling fan. They did, and I was not about it.
I was not about it.
I was not ready.
One of the most amazing things I've ever seen.
Yeah,
It was
it's-
almost as good as the drag show.
It was like it's like a situation like that where like we're out, we're having a good time. It's a birthday party, and Dan's like, "Let's keep it going."
Let's keep it going.
Yeah, he started just buying a bunch of Bud Lights for everybody. He's like, "I got all these Bud Lights. I don't remember getting them. I'm just gonna hand them out to people."
I don't remember getting them.
Yeah,
I don't think he did. I think he only ordered a couple, and they gave him like
then
10.
like we got a cake, like they brought a cake because they brought a cake for his birthday, and then they realized no one wrote on the cake, but they bought little little gel, edible gel things to write on the cake, and then like everybody's like, "Who has the best handwriting to write on this cake?" Like that way, he has a cake that says "Happy Birthday." But it didn't go off of, like best handwriting at all. Dan just said, "I'll do it."
I'll do it.
He just voluntold everyone it was his job.
And
now.
then Dan just started squeezing it all over the cake, writing "Happy Birthday," and it was like the most stuck together "Happy Birthday" I've ever seen because the gel wouldn't stay on the cake. So when you went to pick up and move, it would move with the line as you tried moving the container.
It was kind of like somebody was trying to write on a cake in space, and the cake was floating away, and they had to push it back into the words.
It was very fun. It was a good time. He ate his cake. His cake was actually super delicious. The cake was attempted to be pushed on my face.
Did you not like that?
No,
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
almost
it
became
was-
Trevor's new dad.
I ninja dodged.
Ninja
I wouldn't
Dad.
even say that at all. I ninja dodged as Amy tried putting cake in my face. Like putting cake on my face. But I like ninja dodged and I like finger tapped her on the nose with her own frosty.
Bam.
They were flirting.
It was very funny.
Flair was cute. High
She's
school
a married woman, man.
shit. Yeah. I think she knew that.
Well, Wayne's
I knew
letting
that.
us know that he's very conscious of the risk.
Yeah, you heard it here. Yeah, protect your moms. I'm coming.
Protect your mums.
He's hunting.
It's all about the mums. I'm
Call-
all about the mums.
Honey, it's all about the
It's the
hunting.
husky honey hunter.
He's out.
He's
Looking for them tight mommies.
He's out for the tight mommies in the house.
What a phrase. I said that at work one time.
Tight
My friend of
mommies.
mine was like, "Well, how was the weekend?" And I said, "Oh, that was the weekend." And he's like, "Out there getting those tight mommies." It was in the
Threw 'em
middle.
off
I was
balance.
in the middle of work. I was literally just walking back to drop something off in the pickup bay, and it threw me off. Like I was like, I've talked to this dude twice,
He knows.
and he knows
You just give off
that
the
these
air.
older women just have a thing for me.
Those tight mommies.
To be fair, older women have always loved me. I'm an adorable dude.
We're like, what's
Just
mom
what I
like?
am. No, there's a sweet lady.
She's a beautiful woman.
You're still not considered family till you watch that damn movie.
I haven't watched that.
Good,
movie.
you gotta watch that movie. Good old Ramen Girl, I think is what it is.
Will not happen.
Speaking
And
of
you'll be
movies,
considered a lot what it's
I was on Netflix last night.
What movie did you watch?
There was a movie it's called Code 8. And I was like, this looks interesting. It was all about people have powers. Some people have powers, but they're the minority. And it's not like, I'm going to fly through a
It's
building
like the
powers.
X-Men.
But like, there were classes of powers. Like some people,
Bollywood X-Men.
Some were useless. And
some were
not.
useless, some were useful. Like some people had strength, some people were pretty tough. Other guys were called what were called electrics, and they basically didn't get shocked or hurt by electricity, and they could kind of use electricity a little bit. But people hated them. They were absolutely like just outcasts and incriminated and despised. And
The Incredibles.
There was a ban, yeah, kind of like The Incredibles. There was a ban on using your powers, and so it was going through this one guy's struggle. His mom is sick, and he's trying to help her. And it was just a really interesting theme. It was a really good movie about how they're just so dehumanized because they're different.
Is that your recommendation?
It's not the message I would expect coming out of it.
No, if you have a Netflix account or you know somebody who's got a Netflix account that you can watch it on, I definitely recommend giving Code 8 a try. It's by no means like an absolute blockbuster title, but I think it was very good for what it was. It was a really surprising film.
It's really odd because Mark doesn't ever give movies a good rating every time I see him with him.
No, but I just
Usually,
me and
Mark.
I usually talk smack.
Me
about
and Mark
most
go see
movies.
a movie and he immediately talks shit about it.
Hmm?
Usually, all hates.
I have a really weird taste though, because I'll talk smack about a movie when it deserves it, but I also love like B-actor Chinese kung fu movies.
Those
They're
are the best.
fantastic.
I'm all
They're
about like
fantastic
Kung Fu
movies.
Hustle. I love it. Shaolin Soccer, one of my favorites.
Those are
I love
always
the
the
Monkey
best.
King.
Monkey King's great.
Monkey King's fantastic.
Red Cliff is not a funny one. It's not a comedy. It's like a serious film. Red Cliff is amazing. I haven't seen Red Cliff 2, but Red
Did you
Cliff
watch any
1.
movies recently?
New movies?
Like any movie at all?
He's about to watch Code 8.
The Lego movie I watched yesterday.
For the first time?
Yeah, I've never watched the Lego. I'm
Did you
not a
enjoy
movie
it?
guy. If anyone out there that doesn't know, I'm not a movie guy. I don't care for the movie theater. I don't care for.
Yeah, you're not really super big into movies.
seeing
I'll
the
watch a movie all the time. I'm
I'll
always
give just
down
about
with
anything a
movies.
try, except
Yeah.
for horror movies. I'm just not a big fan. I don't see the appeal of wanting to have
It's-
that moment of fright.
I think it's more like the horror movies nowadays. They all
There's
suck.
They're all thrillers.
It's
Not
been a
horror
while
movies.
since I've seen a good horror movie.
Yeah,
The
well,
last one I seen was The Strangers, and it wasn't a jump scare movie, and that was the
Yeah.
reason why. It was a creepy movie, and
Or
I was
like
like, "This is
that,
It
actually
was
really
a good old traditional horror movie. A lot of them now are just thrillers and jump scares.
Like the ones that are done by the guy from Key and Peele.
Oh yeah,
Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
Or Jordan Peele. Or whatever.
Jordan Peele, yeah,
Yeah, his movies
very good.
are fantastic.
He's an excellent director.
Get Out
is.
and Us.
Us was
Another one.
like if it's not necessarily like a scary movie, but it's a very suspenseful movie.
He does it's the twists,
Mm-hmm.
the twists in it, and his like directing is just.
He's a phenomenal director.
Yeah.
Like it's not something you would expect from like their comedy point.
No.
Like their comedy points that they do, and then like you say, like, well, this man is this director. It's like there's no way that's the same dude,
Yeah.
but it is.
But I
It's
mean, the
that
comedy was also amazingly put together.
It is.
Directed,
It's definitely
everything was right where it should be. To
I think
make
a
it
lot
hilarious.
of what makes him good at what he does is his story beats flow together so well.
Mhm.
And for a lot of people who don't know, a story beat is basically every scene. When you transition to a new scene or a new setting, it's called a story beat. And their story beats, both in their skits and in his movies, are all just extremely clean transitions. You're never left like, oh, why did we look at
why
that?
are we
thing?
here now?
Why did we cover that? Like, there's no
Because you understand.
there's
He-
no
he doesn't-
unexplained information. There's everything that you get is important and relevant.
I mean, there's a lot of hidden things in a lot of different movies nowadays. Everybody's big on these Easter eggs.
Uh-huh.
Only certain people can find these Easter eggs all the time. Like Godzilla movies, I can see the Easter eggs every time because I'm a big Godzilla fan.
First movie
I
that
look at Marvel movies, I see a lot of the Easter eggs. I can't see all of them because I'm not as in tune to like a lot of the Marvel comics. as
I see a
everybody
decent
else.
amount, but there's
Like,
plenty of stuff.
there's a lot of hidden stuff in there that I do see, and then there's some of it I miss.
Mhm.
Like a lot of the video game stuff that was in Ready Player One, I saw almost every Easter egg
Yeah.
that movie offers because I've been through all these video games.
You're a gamer.
I've seen all this stuff. I'm that kind of person. Like I can see all these video game references, all these like I even saw the fucking Battletoads. Many people didn't see Battletoads.
Battletoads.
Battletoads is such a meme. You had to see Battletoads.
A lot of people didn't actually pay attention to that. Like that end fight scene in Ready Player One, not a lot of people paid attention to it. I guarantee you, a lot of those people, where they were going through the old-fashioned games on the, I think it was the Atari.
Mhm.
A lot of people were like, "Well, what the fuck is that?" I knew what those games were.
Yeah.
I played every one of those games.
Yeah, that's dope.
It's not like I was like, I'm a newer age gamer, but I do like the old stuff too. Like I will play the old stuff. I mean, I have a Nintendo 64 hooked up to my TV downstairs right now.
I'll crack open my PlayStation all day.
Like I have all that stuff. Like I'm about it. I do like the older stuff. Like a lot of people didn't understand what that first Easter egg was, which was where he put his name in the game. For me, I knew what that was because, again, I like the older games. I've played it, and then like I was knowledgeable enough to learn more about the game as I played it. So I looked it up. Obviously, I did not find it on my own. That is a really hard thing to find on your own.
Oh yeah,
People are so fast with that now.
Yeah, like the speedrunners.
It's really hard. Yeah, unless you dedicate your time to finding things like that.
here's the
and
thing:
things
like
that.
the 100% speedrunners, absolute respect to somebody who 100%s a game. The any percent speedrunners who do glitchless runs, they do things in games that I didn't even know you could make those shortcuts.
Mhm.
The ones that really get me are the glitched runs, the 80% with no rules. It's like get from the start to the end as fast as possible. How do they find some of those exploits? Like it's
I think the craziest one I've seen
unbelievable.
was the Zelda one, where like there's one part where you jump on a chair and jump on a door and look at something, and you jump through the map and you just start falling, and you have to fall in this exact spot to land right on top of this wall and walk like the exact amount over to fall through this thing to start a cutscene. And it's like, blah, it's the end game.
Well, I think the thing that gets me with the Zelda Breath of the Wild one is if you're doing there's 100% glitched runs where the first quarter of the game you don't even have your tutorial item.
Mm-mm.
You don't have your menu. You're just
Because
glitching
you
through the doors.
you glitched out of there.
Because going through glitching out and getting all your upgrades is faster, and then you go back and get your tablet.
Wow, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, they just skip it. They
That
just
wasn't
leave
like-
the
that
room.
wasn't
And it's
like
like, how
Super
do you find
It's just like
that?
overall the people that find that stuff in any game, like any type of glitch situation like that. Like there was the people that were trying to get into a specific room in Halo, where they had
Oh,
to.
the cutscene room?
Yeah, well, it wasn't the cutscene room. There was a specific. No, it might have been the cutscene
Yeah,
room in
because
Halo
the-
Reach.
Yeah, because the cutscene room
Because
in
you
Halo
had to
Reach,
jump across like a specific amount of ghosts and know
Yeah.
exactly where to land.
it
in
only
certain
existed
areas.
in that cutscene, and they spent, what was it, like 10 years?
Yeah, they spent a long time trying to figure it out,
And
but
they
they found
finally
it, and
got
then
it.
they're like, "Hey, we're in this room. There's no reason to be in that room."
Yeah.
But they worked their ass off to find
That's
the way
like
into that room.
Dying Light. They had random ass that you swam out to a rock and there was a sword and a stone and you stood there for 5 minutes.
Oh,
or
the
whatever,
Excalibur sword. Yeah,
And it
you
took
sat
it
there and
out.
held your button for. I
and
think
it
was
wasn't
2
even
minutes.
that great of a sword.
No.
But it's like you're out here.
But you
did
can get it as soon as the game starts and let
Yeah.
you go.
and you found it.
It's
and
one of those
like,
things.
that's
Like,
pretty
I was curious because we already completed the game. We went through it. We for our thing, we had a lot of fun at Dying Light. We would punish the people that would join our game as zombies
Mhm.
because we always had it towards open. So we would just chase the person down that joined our game
Yeah.
as a zombie.
Normally, if you don't know, they join your game at night only. They can join your game.
Mhm.
It takes your group, puts you, and you have to go find the nest that they have to protect. And they have like it's a crazy zombie that can jump around the map and fly and pull people in. And normally that zombie chases the group, but me, Wayne, and our group are good enough to where we would wait. We wouldn't even try to go to the nest.
We'd wait
We
for
would
them to
say,
come to
"Come
us."
get us, motherfucker!" And they'd come to us, and we'd kill them every time. And then as soon as they stopped trying to get us, because they were like, "I'll just wait for them to go to the nest," we would hunt them down throughout the city, and then
Right.
eventually they would just leave.
Yeah. We just wanted to because those people that usually join the game, we're trying to experience something else. We were trying to do something else in the game, and usually always when we were trying to do
They would
something
pull
important,
you right the fuck out of it and be like,
Yeah.
"Fuck your mission! You're gonna do this now." And we're like,
So we
"You
were like-
assholes!"
we were getting irritated with it, so we decided we were just going to start hunting those people. And it was after we already had the grappling hook, so we could launch places, and it's a parkour-based video game, essentially.
And once you can launch places, you're basically that zombie.
Yeah.
You
Essentially,
can go
I think
as fast as them.
the coolest thing I ever did in that game was when I grappling hooked up to a roof, flew over the roof as I hit the
remember
zombie
this.
and executed, and we went all the way down the building while I had my arm up and stabbed him. I just
Looked really
waited. I was just
cool.
all the way down the building. It's like a 8-story building.
Mhm.
As soon as we hit the ground, that's when I plunged my sword in him until he died, and he just left the game.
Yep.
It's
And
the
that was
coolest
an
kill I
actual
ever did.
person that he did
Yeah.
that to.
There's 100% chance I could not do that again.
Nope.
But
There's
it
some
was
of
the
those
coolest
situations.
He was right
thing.
there in the right. There was a time, speaking of those situations, in Battlefield when I was providing basically Overwatch for my cousin who was running through buildings, and I'm sitting there with my sniper just like scanning, and a guy, I see him running the stairs. He runs upstairs to my cousin. There's a wall blocking where my cousin is and where the guy with the behind him is, and the guy, I see his knife come up like he's executing him, and I just randomly shoot. It goes through his head, kills him. I saved my cousin character's life, and I'm just like, holy shit.
That was one of my
I just
favorite
killed that
parts.
guy.
That was my favorite part of the Battlefield series, is that you can interrupt executions. Like in Call of Duty, if somebody's getting knifed,
You
they
can
die.
do that in Call of Duty.
Well, in the old ones, they die.
Yeah,
the old
yeah,
ones.
no
But
matter
they-
what.
This new
That's
one,
for,
they
like,
found.
Modern Warfare. That
I
they
just
had.
saved Wayne. I think it was like 2 days ago or something.
Yeah.
I said it was on shipment. When I was getting knifed, and I whipped around, and I was like, Wayne, watch out! And I was like, save your life! And then I turned around.
Yes. I've definitely noticed in the last couple of games I've been getting better. I have been out of fast-paced shooters for a long time.
Still a big rage monster. Sometimes.
So I don't have a... Oh, definitely a huge rage monster. I get so mad. But I'm aware that I get mad. And once I get to a certain point, I'm like, I'm going to stop.
You
get out.
You get mad, and then as soon as you leave the game, you're like, I'm okay now.
Yeah.
You don't continually be angry and
I
annoying.
don't force myself into a situation where I make it unfun for them. Once I noticed I'm at a certain level of anger, I'm just like, I'm going to back out and let you guys keep playing. But I've been getting better. I've noticed I've been snapping to people a lot better. Yep, I've been getting
You're
better.
able to
With
flick
that-
shoot people.
With the Olympia.
I love it so
murdered
much.
people with the Olympia when we were playing.
My favorite part is every time they're just like running into a doorway and I get a double kill with one shot. And like, why are you guys?
Yeah.
Why
you
you
guys
know
on
I'm
top of each other? I'm hanging out here with the shotgun.
I mean,
It's just like the lucky shots you get. Like, there's chances are you'll never hit that shot again.
Nope.
Like, we had a guy yesterday. He was not good with the Desert Eagle at all.
yeah,
But
me.
He
flicked.
quickly
Went
flipped,
bang,
tapped
bang.
4 of us.
Literally
Like, he
within,
shot 2 people and then he snapped over. And, like, at first I was like, oh, okay, that's a little suspicious. Like, that seemed like he was cheating. But then I ran into the dude literally like 2 kills after that. And he was point blank with me and behind me, and he started shooting, and he missed every shot. And I was like, well, I turned around and killed the guy. I'm like, whoa, that's the guy that just flick tapped me.
He just had that moment.
He
where
obviously
he was like, I'm in.
didn't kill me, but he had that moment where he just grabbed greatness one time.
Yeah, he was like, bang, bang, bang,
We
bang.
had a
4
situation
kills
like that when the 3 of us were playing the other day. There was somebody was a female character and they had a boater on, they had a cowboy hat, and they were chasing down. They were just running down the right side of the map constantly, and they kept murking Mikey.
Yeah, that lady, she would not leave that spot.
And for most of the game, we're just like, this lady's got to be cheating. She knows where everybody is. She's snapping
Immediately.
every corner. She's pre-firing everything. She knows where everyone is. How is she seeing all these people? Well, I realized she was just really good because there was a point in time where she died, so I ran down the right side. She came up to the corner. I was staring right at her. She had no idea I was there. I was out
She
in the
was
open.
really good when she got to that spot.
I was not hiding. I was out in the open. She couldn't see me to save her life.
There's a lot of certain spots. Like,
And if she was cheating, she would snap straight.
there's
to me.
also a like because bringing onto that, like she was good at a certain spot, and therefore she was good at holding a certain angle.
Mhm.
Now there is
She knew where
a
people would probably
situation, like a lot of people like to say that they're campers.
I hate it so much.
You can't say everybody's a camper every time.
Just because they're hanging out in an angle.
Because you gotta think, like, if you're playing an objective game mode, people are gonna hang out by the
You
objective.
protect that objective.
You defend the objective. Like, if my option, a lot of times I will sit on B, and I will protect B, and I kill people, and they call me a camper. Not really camping because I'm protecting the objective. I'm playing an objective thing. A lot of these people also don't understand. Now, I'm gonna challenge a lot of you people that have played Call of Duty. Go play like an objective game mode in Halo, and learn what map control is. If you control the map, you will win the game.
Basically,
That is the whole
spawn
objective.
trapping. What people would call spawn trapping
Yeah.
in Call of Duty.
You want to control the map so that way you know where the enemy's going to be almost all the time. This was a real big thing I learned when I played Halo 3 with my friends because we were really competitive when we played it. Super competitive playing Halo 3, therefore we knew where the spawns were, but we also knew how to control the map. Like, there's a sniper spawn here, there's a rocket spawn here, so we got to make sure someone could get to the rockets, someone could get to the sniper. In Call of Duty, there's no weapon drops on the map.
But there's
But when you're in an objective game mode, like if you're not playing like Hardpoint or Headquarters, the objective doesn't move. It sits still. As for us, we play Domination, therefore there are 3 objective points. You only need 2 of those objective points to win the game. If you push into the 3rd one, you flip the spawn, you ruin the whole thing.
they
but
come in.
Every time we're playing, our teammates
Rush
Well,
into
they'll
they'll
the
take the
they,
3rd one and flip the spawn.
they think that we're so far ahead that they can just take the 3rd one.
when that game can completely get turned around.
Yeah, and like especially since we play on hardcore, therefore like a bullet can end your spree of holding a point. Now a lot of people like assume like, oh, they're just camping for kill streaks. We're not. We're holding a position to win the game.
Yeah. There's like, depending on the game and what weapon we're trying to level up, we'll either play super objectively
Yeah.
or super unobjectively. And I'm not gonna say this fucking dude's camping.
No.
If I'm playing domination,
They're
and I run
holding
into
a
A.
point.
And I like to use the shotgun. A lot of people, you can hear your enemy most of the time when you kill them for a couple seconds. There is hate. There is no love. There is only hate for the shotgun. But I use it because it sweeps. I can walk by an objective that's getting taken, hit 3 people, and wipe them off the objective so we can retake it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That's all
purely
it
a
is.
tactical
Whole
weapon.
reason I use thermites. I'd rather use Semtex, but I use thermites.
I use
objective.
thermites because it clears out a big area better than a grenade. Also, a lot of these people use riot shields in hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not against use whatever weapon you want. That's fine. But if you're gonna run at me with a riot shield, I have one option. It's to kill you with a throwable. I hit a thermite at your feet.
Or if you're pretty lucky, you can shoot their feet.
If you're lucky,
Depending
on how they do it.
I got away with that one time.
A lot of people they'll notice me with their riot shield. And they won't sprint at me, so it's hard for me to get an angle on shooting them. So what I'll do is I'll just throw a thermite at them. That thermite will kill you through the shield.
Either that, or they'll panic and think they're gonna burn.
Correct.
Start running.
And then start running away, and then I'll shoot them. Or they'll sprint through trying to get to me and still die on the thermite, even though it wasn't going to burn them because it was too close, too in front of their shield.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on how it is. If I find one backed into a corner and they're just sitting in the corner, I will toss it into the top.
Still Monty on Rainbow Six.
The only way to really beat that is if you throw a throwing knife fast enough, and that's in Call of Duty. But Rainbow Six, you got Monty who has the big shield. There's not many options to get around that shield, man.
If you don't have anything and they're in a corner, you just wait the round out until they're dead.
That's also another thing. If you're gonna call people in Call of Duty and stuff camping because they're holding a position, what are the people
Rainbow
that are
Six
defending the objective in Rainbow Six?
Rainbow Six is all a camping thing because you're just running around in a tiny house.
If you haven't played Rainbow Six, you don't understand. If you've only played Call of Duty, you're calling people a camper because that's what you hear other people call them. Go play a different game. Give it a try.
The main way to tell the difference between a camper and somebody holding a position is a camper, regardless of whether that objective is theirs or not, will go to the same spot every time.
If they
correct,
even if they don't know the
hallway
objective,
that leads to the objective, and they're in a little cutout,
a camper will not make an effort to retake the objective. They'll go to their spot for their kill streaks. Mm-hmm. Somebody who's playing objective protection will retake the objective because their whole point is to protect
the objective.
I've ran onto the objective many times knowing I'm going to die, but I see that it's so close to being taken. I just run on, lay down, try to hide as fast as I can to get it back.
A time yesterday when we were playing on a game. We were playing on
that drove me nuts.
What map was it? I can't remember. It's the one.
It was the City Street right next to the river, right?
No.
Because
it was one where me and Mikey were playing, and the guy...
I remember the guy camping in the chem room.
It was Shoothouse. Shoothouse was the map. I think is what it's called.
But yeah, I know what you're doing.
And then there's those blocks right before the wall where you can hop up and a lot of people snipe over. We didn't even have the objective, and our dude ran over, didn't touch the objective, hopped onto the thing just to start shooting.
When A's still red, and he just I'm gonna snipe down the mid lane.
I touched the objective, and I noticed that he didn't touch it at all, so I just shot him in the head.
If
you're not gonna help me take the objective, what the fuck are you doing?
Play team deathmatch. There's a game mode for killing people. There's a game mode for capturing
I understand. A lot of times, I'm trying to gold my guns right now, so I'm going through a lot of different guns, have to do a lot of different things.
But if you run past an objective that is not yours,
that's not yours. You take it. You're playing an objective game mode. Participate with the team.
If he was off to the side sniping and the objective was still red and he didn't pass it,
then
it's fine. He's over there.
But
he's doing his own
right
thing.
in front of the objective.
He literally ran. It started to take. He jumped out of it.
And that's one of the things I understand. I am by no means the best player, but between the three of us, I am the worst player between the three of us. And even I still run to objectives. When we were playing yesterday in the shopping center in the mall, I sprinted past everybody. I used my silent movement, my ghost.
Dead silence.
My dead silence. I ran past everybody. I ignored every enemy and went straight to the back line and took A from them.
Took their stuff.
Yeah, it's not super hard to do. It's just a matter of, a lot of people, I hear a lot of people saying, oh, he's camping. I've had people call me a camper as soon as I got to a point. I get to one section, I kill him once. The first time I've killed him, I could have just come off a respawn. And they're like, well, he's camping here. Stop with that. Not everybody's camping.
I've killed a person that's what they would call camping. He's been in the same spot, killed me multiple times. I run over, kill him. Then I wait there, because obviously he's going to come back to his spot.
And you kill him again.
I kill him. He called me a camper. And I'm like, you've been sitting here the whole game. And then I will be running around leaving after I kill him at one time.
There's also a fun time we had the other day. It was one map. I watched a guy miss a jump 6 different times.
Our teammate.
He did not, like, he just refused to back up 2 feet and sprint jump at it. He just kept jumping up, trying to get it. It's like he's trying to jump up on this roof, so he's jumping from a box to the roof. You can make the jump if you back up and sprint jump.
Yeah, but he's just too close to mantle.
He's just too close jumping, trying to mantle it. So I sit there, I watch him do it. Watch him miss it 6 times. And I was like, well, no need for the wounded horse to keep trying, so I shot him. I killed him, and he was super upset about it, and I didn't say anything. As soon as I respawn after I fight, I go try to cap B, and it's on that gun runner map, so therefore B is a hard fucking objective.
The whole area.
And I come back, he's still trying to do a jump again. So I shot him again.
So put him down.
It's just like, he's still trying to do it. He's obviously not making this jump. Now, I could be the kind of guy that's like, yeah, back up 2 feet and sprint jump at it. But it's a lot easier and a lot more comedical for me if I just shoot you. It's hardcore. Also, since it's hardcore, friendly fire is on.
Well, here's the thing,
Therefore,
friendly
it's good.
fire for you and Mikey. You guys are aware of your team. You guys are aware of the friendly fire.
For the most part.
Yours is either intentional or a bad throwable.
Straight up accident.
Or a bad throwable.
Getting shot in Call of Duty isn't terrible if you get shot and killed. Getting shot and killed in Tarkov is a whole nother story.
For me, with the hardcore, I haven't played a fast-paced shooter probably since Modern Warfare 2. So I'm jumpy when everybody runs the corner.
A long time.
Because I'm used to playing. I play a lot of games solo. Like I played Borderlands, I played Fallouts. I'm used to. I shoot anything that shows up in front of me.
You also have a second. You have time. You can take damage and have time to respond.
And I also don't play hardcore, so I'm not used to friendly fire being on. So it is very common for me to see somebody and not know they're on my team because there's no minimap. So I don't see their blue dot or their green dot until they're in front of me. It's too late. Panic fire.
The other night you killed me twice on purpose.
I did kill Wayne twice last night.
Almost to my kill streak.
You killed me on purpose as well once.
I did.
For something Wayne did.
Well, no, hold on. The first reason I killed Mikey on purpose is because we spawned. We ran straight to C, took C because it was right in front of us, and Mikey looks back at us and he goes, "Ah!" and he shoots me. I'm like, "What the fuck was that?"
I didn't do that.
Yeah, so I shot you back.
Did I?
I don't remember you doing that.
That's what I remember happening last night.
Is that when you shot me back?
Yeah.
That was Wayne.
No, that was you.
I didn't shoot him.
I didn't shoot.
Because I was gonna shoot
No,
Wayne.
you asked me if it was you, and you said, "Was that you, Mikey?" I said, "No." And then you ran over and shot me, and that's why I thought it was Wayne. That wasn't me. I didn't shoot you.
Random teammate shot you, then.
Because I could have swore it was you. So I shot you back.
I turned around and I called him Mork.
Yeah, that was the whole Mork thing.
Well, that was
Because I really hate when you guys call me that. Stop calling me that.
I didn't say that, but I definitely gave that impression.
Yeah.
Those words didn't happen.
Yeah, well,
He said, "I'd really appreciate it if you didn't call me that."
So we just kept saying it, and then you came over and killed me. I was like, what the fuck, Mork?
But I definitely know when I'm wrong, because there's almost every game I've ever killed somebody who's not in our group. I always immediately go into voice chat and I'm like, I deserve the death. I know what I've done.
I killed myself. I literally shot our teammate once. I shot our teammate, and I sold away. I said, "I just shot our teammate," and I looked at him, threw it right at my feet so they could see me die.
The other time, Mark killed somebody on accident, and he's like, it's my fault. I'm sorry. If you want to kill me, I totally understand. He sat there in a corner, and our teammate just walked up to him and just looked at him. He just stared at him. I just watched, and then he wouldn't take the shot. Mark's like, "You can kill me, it's fine." So I was like, I just shot him in the head. Fair enough.
Kill Mark.
And then, yesterday, Mikey was going to kill me. He asked me, he's like, "Hey, how many kills you got?"
We were winning the game. The game, they had one person on their team or something, and we had control of the map. And we were just we've been running around the map looking for people, and Wayne was up on a building, and I looked over at Wayne, and I said, "Wayne, how many kills you got?" I didn't want to fuck up his kill streak if he was going to have a really good kill streak soon. And before he could say anything, what happened?
I got shot. Some dude
he died.
sprayed me with bullets.
It died. I said, "Oh, never mind."
And then I was like, "You were gonna fucking kill me, weren't you?" And he's like, "Yeah, if you were on a good kill streak."
Rolling it over.
Because when he asked me, I didn't know how to think about it, so I just brought up the menu. And I was like, "Well, I was gonna say," because at the time I had 13 kills. I was like, "Well, I had 13 kills," but they weren't consecutive. But
He doesn't need to know that.
I was only 2 kills. I was only 2 kills in as far as a streak goes, so it wasn't really a big deal. Had I known he was asking me for that, I would have been like, "Oh, 2." Then he would have shot me instantaneously. There's times towards the end of the game, he'll rush to try to kill me.
I will constantly
right as the game goes in, he comes at me. There was one time, everybody left the game because we had complete control of the map.
As soon as it says victory, nothing matters after that. If an enemy kills you, it doesn't count for their kills, doesn't count for your death.
Well,
so I'll run over and try to kill
one time
Wendy.
it had a countdown because everybody left the game. Like everybody on the enemy team left the game because they obviously couldn't deal with it.
Was that the time I got the only kill and it was our teammate?
I don't think so.
Because I remember we jumped into a game. It was also on the mall, and everybody instantly
Ours
left.
was on outside map.
The enemy team instantly left, so we capped A, and we were running to B, and it started counting down. I was like, oh. So our teammate started spinning and shooting, like, yeah, victory!
I remember this.
So I killed him.
Shot him. You're like,
He was the only player with a death, and I was the only guy with a kill.
It may have been the same game, like the same day, but you weren't in the game.
Yeah, it was just
But
I think it was when you
as
went
soon as it
better,
popped up, I just happened. Like I looked over and I saw Mikey look at me. I didn't think about it as I turned around. So I like snapped back as he shot me.
Snapped back.
And
And
then I was like, "Oh, I knew you were gonna do
He's like,
that."
I fucking knew you were gonna shoot me. And I was like, yeah, why wouldn't I?
It's just a big thing. It's all it's about.
Yeah. These people own guns in real life, by the way.
We would never shoot each other in real life.
Never
There's no
shoot
point.
Wayne
We
in real life
understand
unless
gun
he deserved
safety.
it.
That's it. Whoa. Whoa.
Maybe not the message you want to
There's a lot of situations of like I had to deserve that. Like I better started like killing people.
Yeah, Wayne burned your house down with people in it. Like,
It's understandable. Then I say yeah.
Then he'd go
I
over
understand.
game chat
me a
and
couple
say, yeah,
times.
go ahead.
No, I
didn't you
totally
just hop in
understand.
game?
Say, ah,
Wayne,
okay,
that
I
wasn't
deserve
cool how you burned my house
it.
down,
No, dude,
bro.
what's wrong? I need to kill you. I'd kill you.
Well, essentially, I mean, that's just how it is in games. I mean, we like to goof around.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that's about all we have. Time's up. Time is up.
Time is up.
Time is up.
Time's up.
Anyways, quick question to you guys. Is there anything that you would like us to talk about as far as like questions that you send in a question, we'll answer your question. Anything like that? Are there any particular games you want us to talk about, see how we like them as a group or as individuals?
If we played them.
If we've played them. I mean, we're pretty big into video games and tabletop games. We're pretty big into both. I'm going to be honest, I do struggle with tabletop games a little bit as far as like it's getting the rules down in my head. That's what takes me a little bit.
Not as crazy well versed as that. Video game.
Mark's super good at understanding that stuff. But so that's why he'll always be with us to sort that out. Any games you want us to play in particular? Because we're going to try to do a lot more of that. As far as like tabletop games, I don't really want to do much video game stuff on this channel. As far as playing them, I'd rather just talk about them.
We have
If you want to see any video gameplay, you can look at our Twitch channel or visit our YouTube channels by any means.
If the demand's high enough, we can make another
As far-
channel for that.
Correct. As far as it goes, it would be like a let's play or let's watch scenario, kind of like a couple of people watch as a couple of people play.
Mhm.
Something like that gives some perspective on it.
Make fun of them,
It's
mostly.
It's pretty much what it'd be. It'd be some nice friendly banter between everybody.
Well, it's friendly.
Friendly to us,
I
violent to you.
don't know. Friendly.
Essentially,
You probably question.
if you want to see any type of like gameplay from like Mikey or anything like that, he is Attack on Michael at most handles on either Twitch
just
and
about
YouTube.
everything.
It's weird spelled in Call of Duty. It's one T.
It's Attic.
Etic.
Attic.
For me, my YouTube channel is the Deep Perp. Also, I am the Deep Perp on Twitch. I'm the Deep Perp on most things. I haven't been super active on most of them, but I'm gonna try to be a bit more active on that nowadays. Mark, however, does not have a Twitch channel to play games on.
I have a Twitch, but it exists purely for me to not watch streamers because I'm not
He's
big
not
on
big into
stream.
that.
I might get into streaming. I might have to find the time.
Yeah,
And
we'll try
I
to.
don't
convince him.
have a YouTube, so I'll have to make one.
Yeah. Essentially, you can mostly get a hold of Mark through his his Facebook or his
What a
Instagram.
dad.
The Instagram that I made purely to follow us.
Yeah.
It existed
Mark's the old
as
man.
of Wednesday. It
Yeah,
exists.
Mark's the old man in the group. That's how it is. Essentially, again, it's Attack on Michael, the Deep Perp. We are times up. And we just want to know about that. Also, in the comments, tell us what your favorite video game, tabletop game, favorite game in general is. I think that's a good thing to leave off on. Also,
I thought you were just going to repeat that
A lot of
whole
alsos.
thing
No,
again.
no, no.
A lot of alsos coming up.
are you a gun owner? Do you like your gun? What kind of gun do you have? Just tell us about it.
Also, I'm just kidding.
No
That's
more
all we
also.
got.
That's
today.
it.
That's all we have.
Also.
All right, have a good one, guys. We love you.
We'll see you next week.
I never said it.
Hey,
What's wrong?
I don't understand why you wouldn't love somebody.
How do
Many
you not love
problems.
anybody? You have a daughter. You gotta love somebody.
You saying love isn't your life? About had it with you up to here, man. We're only 3 episodes in.
Three,
2,
we're one.
1.
This is
One now, technically
unofficial.
speaking.
We're two.
Two unofficial. Two
This is
test
why I
pilots.
don't love. I can't trust.
We're two pilots. Two pilots.
Two pilot.
Two audio